Yay Networks.
Hey guys, episode 54. It's a hot one here today. I don't know where you all live, but we are getting a heat wave in Colorado, and that is why I'm wearing this. I took my kids today to the park just to get out for a couple of minutes because they were fighting nonstop, and I was getting boob sweat.
Ooh.
Love it.
Love it?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, but you like the hot.
I
like
do.
From the South?
Not
I can't
with
stand it.
Boob sweat.
Okay.
But yeah.
Minus the boob sweat?
Yeah, I told the kids we were out there for 35 minutes and I was wearing this. I wasn't really prepared for it. I had to run some errands. And then because the boys were fighting, I was like, you know what? Let's go to the park. Because normally the park, they're running around. It's easier when they can do that. Get some energy out. It's good for you to get the sunlight on you. So
A little vitamin D.
yeah.
I hate when people they complain about the weather all year long. And then the second it gets hot, they're like, oh my God, this heat. I'm like, it's June. You've been complaining for 8 months. Now you're complaining that it's too hot?
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining. Only time I ever complain is if it's so hot. For instance, here. So our upstairs, we have 3 floors. So our upstairs is very cool. Our main floor, we can't ever get right. It's really warm. And then the basement, I feel like is just
I think they're both on the same air because we have 2 air conditioning units. And I think the main floor and the basement are on the same one.
I think it's overworking or so. And it does this every year.
I mean, I'm sure you probably know, but I just run around the house and I shut off the air conditioner on every level. Because you're gone and I get home and the air conditioning's on 68 upstairs. Nobody's up there.
The boys, they're up there all
No, you're
the time.
gone. You have to shut that off when you leave. I'm becoming old school. What are we going to air condition the whole neighborhood? You ever hear like that? Your friends'
No,
parents
but
used to
our
say?
air conditioning's going to be a lot this month. For this month.
Yeah, well, it's time to cut back a little bit on some stuff given the situation I'm in. So we're going to have to sweat it out a little bit.
I'm the one that pays the electric bill. It hasn't got, knock on wood, shut off yet. I haven't forgot that one. I forgot Amazon Prime last year, but I have not forgot our electric bill.
Jordan has 1 bill. It's the...
No, it's not.
What?
No, it's not. I have a lot more.
All right. Anyways, let's dive in. We kind of started off messy. I guess that's our tagline. But I wanted to talk a little bit about something I just posted about Ellen DeGeneres because she's in the news.
Yeah.
Talking about it's her last hurrah. She's going to have a Netflix special. And then that's it for Hollywood, she said. That's it. She's moving out. I think she said she's moving out of California just because she got so much backlash and, for everything that went down. And if you don't know what went down with Ellen DeGeneres, her show kind of came to an end. I think she was kind of wrapping it up anyway, but it came to an end abruptly because some people within the Ellen DeGeneres show were complaining that it was a toxic work environment and Ellen was impossible to work with. And I think they were pretty low-level people. I don't know the exact details. There's just complaints that it was a toxic work environment. And it was a couple of years ago when this happened, and it was during the cancel culture era, and she kind of got canceled. So I don't know if it was because of the toxic work environment.
She got canceled.
Right. So I don't know if she was winding down, but we just talked about it again today because she said this is her last hurrah. And I posted it and I don't know what people wrote yet. I haven't looked, but a lot of people turned their back on Ellen and I was defending Ellen on the show. I was saying, it was a different era, even though it was 3 years ago, because the last 4 years have been the nuttiest 4 years I've ever lived, as far as this business goes. It just changed completely. And I got Ellen's back saying first of all, what she did for women in television, not like she's Oprah, but she kind of is, being gay, she got her career shut down back in the 80s by coming out. And then she came out with that show. So she broke glass ceilings being gay and being the success that she is. She's helped millions of people. People forget that. Every day she was giving away thousands of dollars to people in need and just putting a smile on millions of people's faces daily. And people forget about all that because a couple people were disgruntled. I don't mean to keep talking because I'm passionate about this. the whole show, the whole network, everyone who had a job there has to dismantle because a couple of people didn't like their work environment. You could have 100 people on the best thing in the whole world, and you're going to have disgruntled people because maybe they're not where they want to be with their career. My coaches were tough on me playing football. You know, there was always like, hey, coach, I'm tired. We'll get back in there. You have to get over hurdles. You have to learn lessons along the way. And they're not always easy lessons. I want you to talk a little bit because I've been flying off the handle.
Well, two things. Going back to what you said in the beginning, she's done with Hollywood. I feel like not only Ellen, I feel like a lot of actors are like that have made it like Ellen, like made their millions, and they're in the 50s. They're like, I'm out. Like they don't want to be in Hollywood anymore because of how things have changed so much, how you can't do anything right. Like you're always being judged because now with Instagram, social media all the time, and people like Ellen didn't grow up with the social media. That came later. And then the second part I wanted to say is I have heard through people, when I remember I used to always talk about Ellen and be like, oh my God, I love her when we lived in LA.
Yeah.
And a couple people I know that work in the business were like, oh, she's got a reputation. Like, don't ever, if you ever see her out in public, don't ever say anything to her because she's not friendly. I remember a friend telling me that. And I was like, oh, I would never say that. But no, I'm not arguing about it. I'm going to stick up.
Were those rumors really true? Or was it the Richard Gere effect? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
That rumor's out there. I don't know if that's true.
Well, I didn't get to finish. I don't know if the Richard Gere effect, what is that? I don't know. What is that?
You don't know a rumor about Richard Gere?
No, what about him?
What? You know Richard Gere, the actor?
Yes, of course.
You never heard of him in a gerbil?
What?
You never heard that rumor?
No.
Anyways, all right, I won't explain it. People out there know what I'm talking about. But I don't think it's true. But everyone knows about it except you.
Well, he's a lot older than me. I only know him from Pretty Woman, and that's it. I don't know a lot, and I think he's a nice looking man.
All right. Anyway, sorry, I got you off track.
Okay. So, but no, I don't know about a gerbil. Now I got to Google it and see what you're talking about.
Well, I think you could conclude what I'm talking about. I kind of got an
idea, but I kind of want to.
There's a rumor out there that older people, I guess, I'm older, that definitely know. So if you're listening, you know what I'm talking about.
Don't tell me that. This is going to make me think differently. Now when I watch Pretty Woman,
every time I see Richard Gere, I think about that.
Why'd you say that?
I'm saying it because it's relevant to the conversation, meaning do people really know in LA? Because you know everyone in LA, they think they're on the inside. They're like, oh, trust me, Ellen's hard to work with. Really? You work at Starbucks. How do you know Ellen's tough to work with?
Well, I know. I was going back to the whole, I wasn't meaning it rude, what I was saying towards Ellen. I'm just saying I remember people saying that, and that was always in my head. Like if I ever saw her, never to say anything but she did such good for everybody. There's people like YouTubers or people who had viral videos, and she would have them come on the show. It was so cute when she would have the little kids. Remember the one girl, Sophia? Was it Sophia Grace?
It is Sophia Grace.
And then
it's all about that bass.
Yeah, she's older now.
Yeah, she's probably like 42.
But she got famous, probably made money. She like when she would have the little kids on, and then. I was going to say, but he's passed now, Twitch.
Right.
Which is very sad what happened with him. But I felt like he grew with her.
For sure.
And I mean, there's people that could probably say things about you from Daily Blast Live.
Absolutely.
And you go into
times that by 1,000.
Right. And there's probably, there is way more people that work on Ellen's show than Daily Blast Live. And we all have those days where we've been there and you're like, oh, I don't want to be at work today. You're just in a bad mood. Maybe me and you got into an argument before you went into work. Maybe the kids are stressing you out and you're not your happiest. But I think Ellen, everybody put her on a pedestal because she was always be happy, be kind to one another whenever she would sign off. She was always dancing. Everything was always positive and happy, that Ellen couldn't have a bad day if she wanted to have a bad day because people put her up on that pedestal. And even, I'm not going to lie, I would think I would think of her that way. Be like, oh, it's Ellen. Like, she's always in a good mood. But I'm sure that gets old. You know, you just want to be. She probably couldn't go anywhere without people stopping her.
And that's got to, and especially.
That has to get old.
And okay, that's one thing on the street, right? I don't know why Will Ferrell came in my mind. Like, I always like, man, I always want to meet that guy. But there's that saying, like, be careful.
Don't meet your heroes.
I forgot how it goes, but something like that. And I'm like, I'm expecting him to be like Will Ferrell from the movies. And he's just going to be like, dude, what are you doing? I'm just trying to get a latte with my kid or whatever it is, you know? So that just popped in my head. But think about your workplace too. You know, she goes on there. I'm sure she doesn't have to rehearse a lot or anything, or maybe she does, but she's there to work. That's her job. And then you have producers and you have APs and you have different things that handle the lower tiers. And especially if you're just starting and you want to be an AP and you're like, hey, I'm willing to do anything. You can't just go up to Ellen. I'm sure there's a time and a place where you could meet her and talk to her. Hey, welcome to the team. But you can't just go all the time and be like, hey, Ellen, what's up? I got this idea. You know, it's like, somebody give them away from me. You know, like, I got a job to do and I want to focus on what I'm doing. I think that would be perfectly acceptable, but people out there might think that's mean. When you're at work, you have a job to do, and so does everybody else there. You can't be intermixing, especially in the era that we just went through. I don't even like talk to some people at work because I don't want to get misconstrued that I'm hitting on them, or I say something wrong, or I tell a joke that they might understand and they're offended by. I have my distance with everybody now at work. I don't go out for beers anymore with anybody at work. So some people might think I'm a dick. You know, and that's on the most minimal level ever. Now push that up to the Ellen level. You hear the same stories about like David Letterman. There's rumors like, don't look me in the eye if you see me in the hallway. I don't know if these are all, I don't know if these are all true, but I could see how you get tired of it. You're just there to work, and maybe you did have a bad day. Maybe she had gotten in a fight with Portia and she's like, I'm just not having it today. And you're like, whatever, to somebody. And then they spin that story because nothing is going on the way they thought it was going to happen for their career. So instead of working harder, they tear somebody down. That's what Hollywood does. I don't know why. Even when I was there, all like the friends that I used to have that I worked with, I'm like commiserating with them one night and like having beers. I'm like, man, this is tough, this town, you know, but one day we're going to get it. And I'd get a job and they would like turn their back on me. They got like jealous.
Because people get jealous, and people don't like when other people are winning, and people don't like when other people are more successful. Not with just television, in life in general. People are just jealous, and you just have to know that not everybody has your best interest. And especially in the entertainment business, it is like very cutthroat. Yeah. I've said this before. We have been, now this was like,
want to take a quick little break and we'll pick it right back up?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, welcome back. Jeff and I have been, now this was like a long time ago because I haven't done anything in television in a very long time, but I have been on sets with Jeff, and you can feel the tension with the crew.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I won't say what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's two shows.
Yeah.
And
it's not our show, if you're wondering.
No, it's not Daily Blast Live, which I have said this. You guys are on a lower level, meaning like it's not national. It's not like an Entertainment Tonight. Not everybody knows what Daily Blast Live is. Right. That's what I mean. Oh, right. When I say like lower level, I didn't mean that like disrespectful.
No, not at all. I just wanted people to think it was definitely not Daily Blast Live. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And
it's not even a show I worked on.
No, Jeff didn't work on this show. It's two shows. But, you go on and you can just feel the energy. But you can feel it with the makeup people, the wardrobe people. You can just feel it all around. And I'm like, I want to get out of here. That's how I have felt before. But Daily Blast Live.
That's why Daily Blast Live is so
different.
Special. Yeah.
You guys are all, of course, you talk hard topics, you fight.
Right.
But you guys have, at the end of the day, respect for each other.
It's no different than your brother or sister.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, you get on my nerves.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
But what you all have, and all you all moved from LA, New York, and some were already in Denver, that nobody else has, is you all like really do respect and love each other. And when you go on the Daily Blast Live set, everybody's like, hey, joking around and like having fun, maybe too much fun. They're having fun. And I'm like, this vibe is totally different. And I think that's why everybody's so heartbroken about Daily Blast Live, is because that spark, you know, that spark is going to be gone because everyone knows that you all have something special.
Right.
And you don't get that on every show. And everybody out there who's never been on a set or doesn't know much about television, which I'm not trying to act like I know a lot about it, but I'm saying from my experience just being around it, it's so catty, and it is not like what you see on TV. You always think television is like so awesome and everybody gets along and it's beautiful, this and that. No, it is not what you think.
It's not. And you know what? That's the sad part, because you don't come along. This job that I've had at Daily Blast Live doesn't come along. It's like a once in a lifetime thing. That's kind of what I was really bummed about. And I think the environment, us being in Denver, in Colorado versus LA, it's just a different, you know, I got into this business bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and like, you know, just like everybody else who dreams of Hollywood. You know, you think you go there and it's like all these parties and glitz and glamour. It's like the movie Wizard of Oz. When you pull back that curtain, it's an ugly business. It's an ugly business, and people are cutthroat. There are very few people that I've met that are true in this business. I mean, we have a great crew of friends that is all kind of have a hand in the business one way or the other. And we got really lucky with that.
That's when you find, though, when you find that group of people that you know are good people and have your back and loyal. It's very hard to find loyalty that won't backstab you. That's when you know you hold on to that.
Right.
And even
and that are happy for you, genuinely happy when something good happens to you. Not like, oh, wow, you got that job. There's so many people like that out there. And
not even in the entertainment business, it's people around you that you're just like, wow.
It baffles me. It baffles me.
I'm always happy for everybody. I am always happy. Like anytime, like any of my friends would get something. I was actually just talking to a friend today that felt discouraged, that is in the business. And I go, keep going. And they said they felt like quitting. I go, you know, when people want to quit, that is when you make your big break. I go, so keep going and keep doing it. And it's just, there's no need. There's no need for it.
No. So I'm 46. Jesus. I thought I was 44 for a second. I'm not. I'm 46. So I started Daily Blast Live when I was 39. And I started in the business when I was like, well, I started a little bit before that, but I moved to LA when I was like 22 or 23. So whatever that math is to get the job where I had. But the people I worked with at CBS.com, that was a great group. That was a handful. And we really got along kind of like we do at Daily Blast Live.
You keep up with those people.
I keep up with all of them. Yeah. My boss, the PAs, the camera guys. It was such a small crew.
And none of them are there anymore. They're all gone.
They're kind of all spread out. Yeah. But I got lucky in my career to have, two great jobs like that.
I think it's the energy you put out, and it's when you put out positivity, you get it back.
Yeah.
And when you put out good energy, you attract that energy, and good people attract each other. Whenever you're bad, you attract bad.
Yeah, but that kind of gets me back to what I was saying, like with Ellen, or just even with my work environment, which I feel bad for. At CBS, there wasn't any of the Times. I'm talking about the Times. When I was at CBS.com, we'd all go out for beers after, everybody. We'd all go out for beers, and there wasn't not even a thought of like, oh my God, I think Jeff's doing this with that. It was mostly guys anyway, but it was like, there's not that thought. If you go out for beers with somebody today, there's a rumor mill that goes. And then I'm like, I'm just trying to get closer to my coworkers. It's a different era, and I'm older, and some of these people are younger in their 20s. I can't be going out with them. And then it brings them to be like, you know what? Jeff's kind of a dick. He's not this guy. It's like, it's not that. It's the environment has changed. And I really feel uncomfortable talking to you right now. And if I say something wrong or tell a joke that might be off color to you, but in my time was fine. And I'm not talking about anything blatantly racist or outgoing, outrageous or anything like that. I'm just talking about just a quote from a movie or something. Like you quote Tropic Thunder and people are like, whoa, that movie's a little too much for me. It's like, man, I don't think I could talk to you anymore. Like, that's how I talk. I'm not trying to be malicious or mean or downgrading in any way, but it's like, I'm scared to talk to people now. Now, I guess who gives a shit because I'm over, but that's kind of, I'm getting back to like the whole Ellen thing. When you're at that echelon, she's the top show in the whole world. You can't just be shooting the shit with people, you know?
Yeah, and she probably didn't trust a lot of
Right,
people.
of
She's
course.
probably like, I don't know you. And then once she does her stuff, she's probably done. She's ready to go. She probably has her routine of how she does
Of course,
things.
yeah, you want to get out of there. And I hate like to pick on the younger generation, but nobody wants to work hard anymore. And that's minus you, Riley and Josh, our producers watching. You guys are hard workers. But what I'm saying is, if people don't get their dreams, like in the first 6 months, or if they don't get a promotion, then that's when the negativity starts. Why is she where she's at? I could do that job. Or why is he where I could do that job? Why is he hosting that show? I'm a better host than that. I don't know where this anger and hate. Put your head down and work hard. And you're not allowed to tell people that anymore because they're like, oh, you're so old school. I guess so. I'm going to teach my kids old school. Work hard and keep working hard. And I'll work the person next to you. And guess what? You'll get your dreams. Don't talk shit. Don't point fingers because you got 3 pointing back at you. And do what you need to do. Get up earlier than the person that you need to beat. Stay there later than the person that goes home early. Be the person that outworks everybody and be the person that people want to work with. That's how you beat your competition. Not by talking shit or just chopping them down or making up rumors or saying you put gerbils in places.
Oh my gosh.
You got to get where you go with that.
Yes.
Sorry, I got worked up, but it's that mentality has changed. And if you think like that, you're kind of an asshole now, just with that mentality.
I think the younger generation, it's just because, I don't know. Well, actually, I'll take that back. I'm not even going to go there. Never mind.
Well, you don't have to go there, but what are you going to teach our kids?
What you just said. Work hard. I mean, I've always had to do that. Our kids don't okay. So we were in the car the other day and Leighton saw an orange Lamborghini and he goes, Lawson, look. I always feel like I'm always bringing something like this up. He goes, look, Lawson, that's an orange Lamborghini. And Lawson goes, oh man, those are, I don't know, like $300,000.
Because they watch those YouTube shows.
Exactly. And he goes, Mom, MrBeast has like 3. Yeah.
Beast.
And I go, MrBeast? And he goes, yeah. I go, what does MrBeast do? And he goes, he gives away a lot of stuff. And he goes, when we go to Mexico, are we flying private? I go, what? I go, who told you about private? And he goes, are we flying private to go to Mexico? I go, first of all, we're not even near that level. I wanted to be like, our kids don't know Jeff lost his job.
They watch too much YouTube.
I wanted to be like, your dad just lost his job. Like, absolutely not. We're not even coach. We're
back to the toilet seats.
We're back to the toilet seats. And I told Lawson, I said, where did you get that? I was like, where did you get flying private? Because I don't ever talk about that stuff.
It's YouTube.
And he said, MrBeast.
Yeah.
He goes, MrBeast flies private. I go, well, good for MrBeast and his chocolate and whatever else he sells.
Chocolate?
And he has chocolate at the gas station.
Oh, he does?
Oh, yeah. And every time we go to the gas station, the kids want MrBeast chocolate.
Oh, well, good for him.
Apparently, I don't know. Apparently, this guy's a good guy. Lawson says he's a really good guy. I have no idea.
He's got
who he
chocolate.
is.
He's like Willy
Yeah.
Wonka. But last one, and we'll take a break. The kids, so again, I don't mean to, but talking about like cutting back on money and things like that. I've been cutting back on like cable and canceling apps and things like that. Just, normal stuff. Whatever. We're okay. But
Did you cut back on Costco?
I have, yeah.
I just told Jeff, I said, Costco's raising their membership fee. I was reading him this thing, and he goes, what? But then you said, Costco's worth it, though.
Costco is worth it because I feel like I'm getting a deal every time. But anyways, real quickly, we're going to go see Despicable Me 4 this weekend.
Uh-huh.
And then at the theater, again, the theater has gotten so expensive just to bring your kids there. And they always get like this kid package and you get a candy and a drink and some popcorn. And they're like, all right, I can't wait to get popcorn. I'm like, no. I'm like, times have changed, guys. We're going to CVS. You get 2 candies for $1. We're going to sneak those in the movie theater. And then we're going to watch the movie.
I bought, the boys
Back to basics.
went with our neighbor to see Inside Out 2. And so I told her, I was like, I'll get online and get their tickets and order their candy and stuff so you don't have to pay for it. You know,
Yeah.
you can do that. So I get on AMC's website, I get 2 tickets for the boys, and then I got them the package deal where it comes with popcorn, a drink, and candy. And So that was 2.
Right.
So Lawson got 1, Leighton got 1, and 2 tickets to go. And it was at a discounted price because they went in the afternoon. Guess how much it was?
Go.
Yes.
$70.
$68. And so now I'm like, let's just wait till it comes out on Amazon Prime and we'll buy it for $24. And then we have our food here. And then it's cheaper. We'll just do it.
Last one. How about we went out to Gelato? And
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, I have to, because now people thought I was cheap before. Wait till now. So the kids got 1 scoop of ice cream, 1 scoop of gelato each. So that's 2 small cones with 1 scoop. You got like a
little mousse cake.
A little mousse cake
And a coffee.
And I got 1 scoop of ice cream, tiny, in an espresso. $48. What?
I know. It's a lot.
How much is a prostitute these days?
What? That's so
I'm just trying to compare prices.
Yeah, well, prostitutes' prices probably went up too.
They went up too. Inflation.
Inflation. They had to go up. It costs more to get a hotel room now, so
wow. So between a hooker and a hotel room, that's a week's paycheck.
Exactly.
All right, we'll leave you with that. We'll come back in a second.
Welcome back. Oh, I thought when you did that, you were telling me something like in my show.
Oh, no, I'm sweating. You know what I think it is?
What's wrong with you?
This wool pillow is on my back, and I think it's making me hot. I know the first part of the conversation made me hot, but I'm like sweating down here. It's not that hot.
I know it's not, but again, I have on this dress because it's pretty hot.
And all the pricings, I got really worked up.
Yeah, you get worked up about that stuff. We wanted to talk about.
Wait, real quickly, going back to MrBeast. So at the break, we were talking with our producers, and MrBeast, I'm sure a lot of you know already, makes between $600 and $700 or $6 and $8 million, $600 to $8 million. He makes about $800 million a year.
Good for that guy. He's crushing it.
All right.
Good for him.
I don't know why it took me so long to get that out.
Yeah, you're flustered.
I'm hot.
Okay. We are watching a couple of shows. So wait, before we talk about the really good one, this one is just for anybody that needs something just to watch to make the time go by. I got Jeff hooked on Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Oh, DCC?
Yeah. Because I always watched CMT making of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders for years. Love it. And then when we moved, I didn't think we had cable. I just found out we had cable, and then we had the cable guy come, and so I don't ever watch cable, and I never watched CMT.
No, cable box upstairs.
Yeah, I never watched CMT up there anymore, so I don't even know if that's still a thing. I haven't watched it in years. Probably since we moved in this house, I haven't watched Making of the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders.
Wait, real quickly. We had a cable box hooked upstairs, but it wasn't a box. It was like a little puck.
For 4 years and didn't know it.
Yeah, and didn't know it. I was paying $10 a month, and I had no idea that thing was up there. That's a great story.
All right. And
Could pay for the gelato.
So if you need something to watch, speaking of, going back, kind of like tying in with like Ellen and people just having their feelings hurt a lot, I think Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, the head coach Kelly, might rub people the wrong way. I love her bluntness. Like, she's just very like, oh my gosh, her hair, what's up with her hair? Or that color doesn't look good on her. Or, oh, you need to drop a few pounds. Like, she is very blunt.
I'm surprised she didn't get canceled.
I'm actually surprised she didn't either. But she's always been that way. But listen, I would want somebody to be that way.
I appreciate it. People can't take the criticism.
If somebody was like, you look horrible in that, I would want somebody to be like, tell me that.
Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate that too, but that's just how I grew up. People told you how it was, not afraid how you'd feel, and hope that you learn some sort of lesson from it. It's a little mean. I get it. Even for me, it's a little mean the way she talks. But those are young kids. They're like 18 to 25. I got
him hooked. Now Jeff likes it.
Well, because you know what? I really do. I love seeing people's dreams. And these girls are so invested. If you haven't seen the show, they're so invested in becoming a Cowboys cheerleader, which I didn't know was a big thing. And I love watching people chase their dreams and succeeding. But the downside to that is people have to get cut. It's kind of like a roster in the NFL. It's like watching Hard Knocks. Go Bears, they're going to be on Hard Knocks this year. But I don't know. I just, something about that. I love when people get their dreams, and I love the process. And sometimes you don't make it and you got to learn tough lessons. And going back to what we said, you got to bounce back. You got to bounce back and get better and learn from it. And even
but
some
girls return
on the show.
So if you keep up with the CMT one, they'll show like returning girls, and I love it. And I love watching them like make the team. But another thing that's like exciting about it is you could be a veteran and be on the team for 3 years, and you might not get it your 4th year. Like, just because you're a veteran does not mean you're safe. Like, you can get caught if your leg kicks. One
wrong leg kick and you're off the team.
The leg kicks are intense. I mean, I wish I could do the leg kicks and the splits like they do.
Oh boy, it's intense. We're only a couple episodes in.
But now I've always wanted to, only not for the football game, just to see the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, because I always watched it before. Like when the boys were babies, I always had that on. I was always watching.
See, I didn't know
and
all
reruns.
This. And like the way they run out and they play Thunderstruck, and like every 2 steps is the 5th-yard line. Like now I want to go and I want to watch it. If I went to a Cowboys game now, I would go early to see the cheerleaders and see their moves and how, because it's so much work. They put in so much hard work.
And when they do the line kicks, like on the CMT one, there was a girl one year that was weighing the other girls down with their shoulders, and they're like, you could hurt them in the line kick, like if you don't do it right, like you can injure other people. It's very interesting. So
I can't believe I'm into it, but I am. I appreciate the hard work they put in. I appreciate the discipline, and I appreciate their dream. It's like when you hear these girls talk, that's it. That's their life. Like, this is it. I'm going to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader.
I want to be a judge. How can I be a judge?
I don't want to break an 18-year-old's heart.
No, I want to be a judge. I'd be fair.
I'd be like, everyone could come. We're going to have 100 cheerleaders out there.
But see, the one on CMT will show people who aren't great. And this one, I feel like it's kind of fast.
Yeah.
On the Netflix one.
I kind of like that. I'm not into like picking on people that don't make it.
It's not picking on. It's just showing more of like the process.
Yeah, I like, whatever. But it's a good show. I can't wait to see who makes the final roster.
I'm putting it out there. I want to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader.
What do you know about cheerleading?
I know nothing, but I know if you're a good dancer or not. I've been a great supporter of the show. I would love to be a judge. I know I never was a dancer, but I would love to be a judge.
Would you pinch somebody and say you need to lose a couple pounds?
Oh my God, no, because I could lose a couple pounds myself. I got a fat belly and fat arms.
Oh, one more thing. We're done with this. The episode yesterday, I don't know if you were in the bathroom, but they measure these girls into these tiny shorts, right?
Yeah.
And even if you're there 5 years, you don't get new shorts. You got to fit in those shorts, meaning like you can't gain a half a pound. Otherwise, they're too big. I mean, they're disciplined, these girls.
Yeah,
you know?
Wow.
I'm going to go with MrBeast and eat some chocolate for $800 million a year.
I'd rather be traveling and eating too than starving myself.
Who wouldn't?
Okay. And then, now this one's good. This is, I would say, thriller.
This is probably the best show I've seen in a while.
It's really good.
Like, legit.
Because you do not know what's going to happen every episode. Okay, what was that?
I don't know how much I want to say. The name of the show is called Presumed Innocent. It's with Jake Gyllenhaal. Mm-hmm. It is such a good show. I mean, maybe I appreciate it more. The writing is phenomenal. And then the thrill factor of like just the cuts and edits and like the quick sound bites or flashes of, whatever happened. I don't want to give too much away because there's so much going on, but I will say this. It's one of those shows that you go through and you think everybody, there's a murder involved. And it's actually based off of, maybe I'm thinking about something else. Anyways, there's a murder involved and there's a certain amount of people on the show. And at one time or the other, kind of everybody's a suspect.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, the writing's good. The acting is phenomenal.
Because right now I have 2 people. I'm like, they're the ones that killed her.
See, you don't know. Even now, it comes out every Tuesday, I believe. And we're filming this on Thursday. even though it comes out on a Wednesday. But yeah, so we'll be, oh man, there's only a couple episodes left. But the good news is if you haven't watched it, it's on Apple TV. If you haven't watched it, you could rip through like 7 and you're gonna. So sit down and make a weekend out of it because you're going to want to, right when the last one ends, you're like, oh my God, I got to see the next one.
I hate shows that the episodes are not all out because some nights we're really in the mood to watch something and the way it ends, I'm like, wait, we can't watch another one? We got to wait till next week? I hate that.
I know, and I want to talk about it so bad and give my theory of what happens, but I don't want to ruin it for people out there.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a good thriller, a mysterious show, watch it. It's kind of dark.
And good, like even the oh man, the acting's so good. I'm just really impressed with the whole thing.
Jake Gyllenhaal, I either like his stuff or I just absolutely hate it. Some of his shows, like there was one, I can't even remember right now what we watched. This was years ago, and we thought it was going to be so good, and it wasn't a show, it was a movie. And he played, he was like a serial killer. He was like a weirdo in the movie, and I cannot think of what it was, and it just bombed. I was like, that was the worst movie ever. But on the trailer, it looked like it was going to be so good. But this show is really great.
Sometimes he makes some stinkers.
I liked him in Southpaw. Did you watch that?
Southpaw?
Southpaw, P-A-W.
Southpaw? Oh, is it a dog movie?
No, he's like the fighter.
Oh, Southpaw.
Southpaw.
You're saying paw like grandpa or paw like a dog's paw?
P-A-W.
Southpaw.
That's what I said.
I don't know. It sounded weird to my ears.
Well, now everybody else is going to think it sounds weird because you called me out with that.
No, I think you're right. I think you did say
Rachel McAdams was in it. And I think she plays
he's the boxer. Yeah, I did see that.
She plays
it was good in that.
Where are they from? Boston? And and she dies. And then he goes crazy.
And he got ripped.
And he gets revenge. Yeah.
Did you watch Roadhouse, by the way? He's in everything. We just
started Roadhouse, not the one with Patrick Swayze.
No, with Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor's in that?
Yeah, we gotta watch it.
I only watched 15 minutes of it and I turned it off.
We gotta watch it.
I wasn't into it. I thought it was cheesy.
And then we just watched that other movie he was in, the Army movie. We're on a Jake Gyllenhaal like kick.
Oh yeah, and that wasn't even trying.
Yeah.
Covenant.
The Covenant.
The Covenant.
It was okay. It was pretty good.
It was pretty good. It was based off a true story.
Yeah, it actually, you know what? It was really good.
He plays good, like, veteran.
But the other guy in The Covenant's really good. The guy who helped him the whole time.
The actor.
Yeah, he did a really good job.
He plays it's a show on Netflix, and they're speaking another language. So when they're talking, the voices, their mouths are all off.
Yeah.
And I can't watch it. But he's like having an affair and somebody gets murdered. Yeah, he was good in it too.
All right. Well, that's our movie review of the week.
Yes. Our kids want to...
Actually, our TV show of the week.
Shows our kids want to go see Minions 4. Or is it Despicable Me?
I just said that story. I'm going to get candy at the CVS. I'm going to take them.
You and the kids can go.
I'm going to. It's nice and air conditioned in there. I'll sneak in a couple pops myself, you know.
All right. Thank you all we're going to end on that note. Thank you all for continuing to watch, download, subscribe. What do you want to say? We got some news to tell. We always saying this news, but how much news can we tell? Oh yeah, we do have some news.
Yeah.
Do you want to share?
Well, I don't know how much we could say, but I do, because we always say that we have something coming, and we do have a couple things coming, but we'll tell you this right now. We're going to be moving to Spotify. If you haven't already checked it out, we're going to be moving to Spotify on video. That actually just happened today, but again, we're kind of a week behind when you listen to this. So you'll be able to watch this video now on Spotify when you look at the video on Spotify, which is really cool.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm excited for that.
So you don't have to go to YouTube anymore. You still could go to YouTube. You could still listen on Apple and wherever you get your podcasts, but the video will also be streaming when you watch us on Spotify, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And what else? We got one more thing to share.
Oh, we're going to today. We're going to do 2 episodes a week.
We're going to today. Southpaw. We're going to hit you with the left hand, Southpaw.
Today, Junior.
Waterboy.
No, that's not. What is that?
Yeah.
Waterboy? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going for
that.
Billy Madison.
Oh, it is Billy Madison. You're right. You got me. I was thinking the water boy.
I got you for
You
what?
did get me. I was thinking of the coach where he's like, are you too stupid to understand what I'm saying? That was the water boy. Today, Junior, you're absolutely
That's
right.
Billy Madison.
Wow, you got me on that one.
I love that. Billy Madison, I love that movie. That's like one of the funniest movies.
You blew it.
Yeah. So
Anyway, so
we're
yes,
gonna
that's
be
exciting.
2 days a week. So a lot of you who asked that want longer episodes, you're going to be happy about that. So on Spotify and
Video on Spotify, and we're going to be our episode, I think the 29th officially right now will kick off our 2 a day. So we're going to do Monday to 29th and then Wednesday to 31st and continue on that path for as long as we can. And that's when the shows will be airing on Mondays and Wednesdays now.
Yes, we have a little bit more time on our.
And we have some good guests coming up. So
Yes.
now that we have more time, we're going to have more guests. So we'll keep you informed on who that is. Check us out on social media. Maybe that might help push the show and the guests.
Yes. And all right. Thank you for continuing to stick with us. Download, subscribe, tagging your friends. I hope y'all have a wonderful week. If you're somewhere like in Denver where we're having a heat wave, stay cool. And we'll see you guys later. Bye.